This segment is sponsored by Allendale Treatment. Well, we're going to jump right into the nitty-gritty of all of this. Fentanyl is a big issue for us here in America, and you deal with that on a daily basis. So, you know, I was like, when I was reading these notes, I was like, I don't even know that I know what that is. So what is it?
So fentanyl's and its analogs it's a synthetic opioid that's much more potent than most of the other opioids that we're used to. So fentanyl's about 50 to 100 times more potent than like morphine or heroin is. And some of its derivatives are even stronger than that.
But you know, oftentimes it's something that's prescribed for people. So there's, as in most things, there's the good fentanyl and then like the bad fentanyl, right? Like street grade fentanyl and medicinal grade fentanyl, I guess, right?
Yes.
So, like, where does one get that? Like, I mean, do most people start out using it properly and then get an addiction, and so they kind of like morph into what they can get on the street?
No, so the most likely time that a person would come across medical fentanyl, as you worded it, would be in the context of like a surgical procedure or being put under sedation for a procedure like colonoscopy. Fentanyl is often used in that context. Sometimes people with pretty severe chronic pain may use a type of a fentanyl that comes in a patch form. But I would say most people that are exposed or using fentanyl that would be obtained off the street started with some other opioid, and probably honestly are not even willingly using fentanyl. They're maybe even thinking they're using something else, and fentanyl's been put into it.
Interesting, but you know, that is not something that, you know, at least in my limited knowledge, isn't something that was always in my lexicon. You know, like growing up, I didn't hear about fentanyl. So is it a new?
It's definitely taking on a toll in our community with a much more focus on our children. There's now rainbow fentanyl that looks like candies, and this fentanyl is coming in across the borders. The fentanyl that we're dealing with on the streets coming in across the borders and being pressed into pills, so people think they're taking something else, and it only is a small grain, and that's why these overdoses are happening. St. Joseph County saw more overdoses last year than they have in any other year. We had 97 overdoses due to fentanyl, and we're seeing already to be on the same trend for this year. And so that's why we're really out here raising awareness and bringing knowledge to the dangers of the fentanyl.
Yeah, so you're saying it's like put in something else and you don't maybe even know you're taking it. So is that something that I think I'm taking, a proper thing?
Could be.
Does that make sense?
It could be that you think you're taking a Percocet or a Vicodin, when in fact it's a pressed pill, it's a fake pill. That's being sold to you through a drug dealer or on the streets. Most of the pills that are being confiscated from the police departments aren't even actual real pills. They're all made in pill presses in people's basements.
What?
Yes.
It's like the entrepreneurial spirit's gone the wrong way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, okay, so if I find that I'm in this situation, what can I do when I recognize that I need help to get help?
One of the things that we really encourage is family members to be aware of what fentanyl is and making sure that they have Narcan in their house. Our Sheriff's Department has a Narcan vending machine through Overdose Lifeline that's stocked through Overdose Lifeline, and it's free, so you can go right in, get Narcan, and it has instructions inside on how to use it, and you can keep that at home, in your car, in your purse. It's very important. You never know when you may need it. And also we encourage people to, if they are finding that they're struggling with substance abuse disorder, to reach out and get help and find treatment. And through you know, doctor's offices, talking to your physician, reaching out and asking your physician if you think you have a problem, or reaching out to us for an intervention with a family member. There's several ways to get help, and we want to make sure that people know how.
I am so drug illiterate. Like all these words you're saying, I'm like, what are they talking about? So Narcan.
Yes.
So that's a substance that does what?
So it reverses the effects of opioids. So if a person has taken more than they intended to, it can make it so that they're not breathing well and can be unconscious, and you can use Narcan to reverse that.
So it's not dangerous to have around.
No.
It's
No,
I mean, it's
not at all.
really, you know, if someone happened upon it and used it on accident, it's not going to kill them.
Right.
But it's going to save you.
Absolutely.
If you're having a trouble and you recognize it, or that someone around you recognizes it.
The key is to not be alone, and to recognize that it's happening.
Wow.
And we'd be really surprised the numbers of individuals that struggle in silence that may be watching this. And we want to make sure people know that they aren't alone and that they can get the help that they need, and we are here for them.
Right, and sometimes it's such a brave step to take. I mean, the whole realization that I have a problem comes often far later than it should.
Yes.
But then to step up and say, okay, I have a problem and I need help, and that's where Allendale can come in. So how can people connect with you?
Absolutely. So our information is up on the screen. You can contact us through email or phone. My phone number's been provided. Or you can reach out to our 1-800 number as well. That's on the screen. And we'd love to be able to help you and begin your journey. We also are getting ready to host and be a sponsor for the Recover Michiana Fest, which is taking place Sunday, September 25th, where a bunch of resources are going to be in the area with plenty of people to talk to. South Bend Primary Care Partners is a proud sponsor of that event as well. And so we will be there on site that day to talk with individuals.
Awesome. It's a really important opportunity for people to get the help that they need and to be brave enough to do that. So we encourage you to check out Allendale and all of the resources. They're right on the screen.